Hello and welcome to another video. So in today's video, I'm gonna go over 5 hairstyles. It's gonna be really quick. I'm gonna go over 5 hairstyles that you should consider, okay? Or not consider, because one of them on there I wanna say is probably a no, but we'll talk about it a little bit for basic training, okay? So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. All right, so if you wanna know how long you get to actually wash your hair and like care for your body overall, I'm gonna link a video for you. But with all of that being said, you don't really have a lot of time to tend to your hair, not at nighttime and not in the morning. So especially, this video is really only, I'm going to say, for people who have curlier hair. So if you're of mixed race, of mixed background, you know what I mean? If you're African American, if you have curly hair, okay, textured hair, these styles are going to be for you. The first one I'm going to say is a short hairstyle. And when I say short, I'm gonna put a picture on the screen, a little mini afro. If your hair is like in between a stage, like you got it's growing out and it's kind of right there, I will go ahead and just buzz that down one last time, okay? In a way that will last you 10 weeks. Now there is a barbershop on post, and of course you can go in there and they can like cut a little off for you. I wouldn't really trust them because they used to do it like buzz cuts, but if you need, like, let's say you got recycled and you're there a little longer than 10 weeks and you need to like take some off, you can get that done there. So I would suggest, like I said, if it's this length, because you still want to be in code, you still want to be able to put on your hat and all those kind of things, I would just take it down. I would buzz it down, okay? So let's move on to the next style. Now this style is my personal favorite, and I wish that I would have worn my hair like this, okay? When I went there, when I came back from holiday block leave, I actually had my hair in the same style. It was styled a little different, of course, but it was the same, like there were mini braids. So that would be my next thing, and that is mini braids. If your hair is long enough to, like, you can see how long my hair is there. If your hair is long enough to put in mini braids, and the mini braids to actually like be pulled back in a ponytail, I don't know if you can tell, but the person who did my hair, she actually styled the mini braids, okay? And when I was in basic training, I'll try to insert a video, insert a picture if I have one of the braids, you know, when I got them and then a little along in the process. But honestly, I kept those braids in for like 3.5 months. There's really no time limit on how long you can keep those braids in. You can still get to your scalp and wash your scalp. So I really think that that is the best option. And I would actually go ahead and get them like professionally done. That way your parts are neat and they'll last. I mean, these braids last. They didn't come out, they didn't come unraveled. My hair did not like get dreaded or anything like that. So this is the best option in my opinion, because it just allows a flat, you know, flat head. Like there's a lot of braids, but it just allows a more flat hairstyle. And a lot of girls, I saw like probably like 4 girls in my bay with their hair. They came with their hair in little mini braids, and it was the best style in my opinion. And the other style would be dreads. So I don't have dreads, so I don't know much about dreads. I do have a friend who has sister locks, and I would say that it is, I wouldn't start them and then go to basic training, but if you have them, they're also a good style as long as you can make them lay flat, okay? You don't want any hairstyle that's kind of like, girl, chasing your hat, okay? Because the next hairstyle, which is cornrows, I had cornrows when I went, but we'll get to that in a second. And later on, I took them out, and then I had like, I did 2 braids like this, girl, hat flying all over the place. It was a mess. And then I went to another hairstyle, which is the slick back ponytail, which I don't even have on here. That slick back ponytail, I'll insert a picture for you, girl. Texture hair, girl, you gonna have no edges. Your hair is gonna be broken off, you're gonna be looking a hot mess. It's good for like let's say there's somebody in the bay who will do some cornrows for you, and you wanna take down a style like this, which I would not suggest. You wanna take down a style and then get you some cornrows, maybe like on a Sunday or something like that. And you can wear that little ponytail for one day, but I would not suggest that you break off the edges of your hair, brushing it every morning. I have, like my hair is easy to slick down, but it has to be soaking wet. Soaking wet, how cold it was, asking for trouble, okay? And then having soaking wet hair slick down like that, not able for your scalp to breathe, asking for trouble, okay? So I would not suggest a slick down hairstyle. Now, if you are a person who has curly hair, but it's more like, you know, it's more, what's the word? I'm gonna insert a picture. If it's more like that and you're able to slick it back without much friction, possibly you can get away with it for more days than someone like me who has like extremely curly hair. I would not suggest doing that. And another thing, while we're on here, no, we'll get to that at the end. Let me look. Hold on. Okay, so here's the next style. It's cornrows. I got cornrows before I left. It's the cheapest hairstyle that you can get. You can make an appointment at like a school, a beauty school, and you can get yourself some cornrows. The only thing with cornrows is they don't really last that long. At some point in time, they get frizzy. So if you're okay with them being frizzy, go for it. Like I told you guys before, they were a lot more lenient with girls with textured hair like myself in basic training than girls with straight hair. So take that for what you will. If you're okay with asking someone, can they braid your hair? I would get cornrows. If you're not, I would not go with cornrows. This is the style that I would go with, okay? Even if your hair is just a little shorter, like even if your hair is like right here and someone can braid them in these mini braids like this, I would still get them. I would get the little mini braids and move on with it like that, okay? Don't come with any beads or colored hair, and let your hair be its natural color so that you don't have any problems. Once you leave basic training, you can then play around with that at your unit. You know, you can play around with that at AST. Don't do that at basic training, girl. Don't make yourself stand out by dyeing your hair like red or blonde. Okay, just leave it alone. So let's move on to the next style. So this style I like, but I would not suggest getting it for basic training. And that is box braids, knotless braids, those twists, you know, those long, like the twists that you get with like weave hair. I wouldn't suggest getting them. However, you can if you want to. If you like let's say your hair is really short and you're not really comfortable with it, I would get them in that case. But please just make sure that they're shorter. Make sure that they're short enough to be able to like put in a ponytail. And you don't want a big, because there is what do you call it? There's codes against how large the bun should be. So you need to look for those codes. I can't give them to you. I don't know them off the top of my head because I didn't go there with no big bun, but you need to look them up and then make sure your bun is like within the code. And I mean, way within. Like you might get a petty drill sergeant and then come up to you and start measuring it. Like you don't want to be a part of any of that. So like I said, if you're gonna get them, I wouldn't suggest get them because they're way down on your head. I mean, you have to wear helmets and you gotta wear hats and things like that, and they just don't really work well from what I saw, the girls who did have them. But if you want to, make sure that they're short. And then another thing is, you know how you go get your hair braided and people will put like 8 packs of hair in your head? Don't let them do that. Tell them to make it very very, very thin, almost like it's your natural hair. I saw one girl who had, her braids were like this size, and then someone like added weave in and it was very thin. Like you see how small this braid was? It still was very small, very light. So if you're gonna get them shorter, and also short enough to still put in a ponytail though, and get them lighter, okay? Here's the next one, and that is weave, like sew-ins. I would not suggest that you get sew-ins, even though, I mean, I guess it could work. I'm not really a big fan of it because you need to be able to get to your scalp. Let's say you went out in the field and you went during the summertime and you know, they wanted to search you for ticks when you came back. Well, they can't really search if you got a head full of sewn in hair. So I just would say stay away from it altogether, because any style you choose, you need to be comfortable with being able to grease your scalp and you be comfortable with being able to wash your hair, okay? If you can't do that with the style that you've chosen, I would think about a different style. You also want it to be able to be lightweight. You want to be able to put on a hat, and you want it to be like, you don't want something just weighing down and giving you a headache, okay? You're not going to be able to wear a ponytail on top of your head, so forget about it. So like, you know how you'll take your natural hair and then like, you know, wash it and then let it be on top of your head, a little pineapple? You can't do that. So don't even worry about it. Don't even think about getting a hairstyle that's going to require you to do your hair like that, because you're not going to be able to wear it, simply. Okay, so let's move on to a few little things that I think you should bring and think about, and we're going to close out this video. All right, so I didn't know this, but I did bring my do-rag just because, okay? They don't have do-rags and bonnets at the PX. So I would suggest that you bring one. If you're gonna wear a hairstyle like this at nighttime, you know what I do? I put the bonnet on my head, okay? It does come off about 3-4 times at night, but I still get up and put it back on my head. So I put the bonnet on my head. If you wanna wear a slick ponytail, like I said, for that little day in between, or you wanna keep your cornrows looking fresh, I will also bring a do-rag, okay? I will bring both. I bring both. Because if you need it, if you need to make your hair like look refreshed, you want to make sure that you bring the appropriate supplies, because they're probably not going to have it at the PX for you. Of course, we weren't allowed to like walk around in the bay with bonnets and stuff on, and I wouldn't suggest that you do that. Just put it under your pillow, girl. You know what? Don't do that because you might get your stuff flipped. Put it in your locker. Put on that little hook in there, okay? And another thing is bring the supplies that you need. Like I mentioned, greasing your scalp. I do not remember seeing any like grease, like I mean Blue Magic grease at the PX, so I would bring some of that. I told you guys about bringing a spray bottle. I would bring my own spray bottle, like the continuous mist one. I think I put that in the last video I did about stuff to bring, but I would bring the continuous mist bottle just in case you don't have a sink and you want to fresh up your hair. You can fresh up your hair right there by the locker. That's a good thing about having curly hair that a lot of people don't want to talk about, okay? I did not at one time, at no time, and never wish that I had straight hair, especially not in basic training, because they wanted their hair slicked, okay? And when I say their hair, I just mean if you have straight hair. So if you're black and got straight hair, whatever, okay? They wanted your hair slick. I've never been so pleased to have curly hair before in my life, okay? Because they know it ain't slicking like that. It's not gonna be slicking like that. So like I said, you wanna make sure that you bring your favorite hair supplies within, of course, the travel size, unless you're going to check a bag. Yeah, so that's all that I have for you today. As always, if you have a question, ask a question, and I'll see you in the next video.